What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Eastside Flock. It's AG here, and we will be talking about kids opening day at Camden Yards. Um, so we were there to see a friend of ours that was in the part of the DJ group. I believe they're called the Shake It Up group, Shake It Up crew, actually. And they were there performing, getting the little ones hype. Uh, and it was a fantastic time, but we were there to support them. We ended up getting tickets from them as well. So shout out to the Shake It Up crew for that. Much appreciated. And so I'm just gonna be talking about my experience, talk about the frustrations of the Orioles because obviously this game was kind of terrible and it was not what it should have been. As an Orioles fan, talk about the energy in the stadium and just kind of where do the Orioles go from here. So without further ado, we're gonna jump into it. Um, I finally got a picture of this. I had been meaning to for a while. I've been wanting to get a picture of the it's the back of the scoreboard, but it's just end of the jumbotron. But I think it's just a real cool entry. Obviously, you have Utah Street to the left, which probably should have got a picture of that too. But I just love the architecture here. You can't clip these wings. Obviously, it's a little covered up, but this is kind of the first thing you see when you come in from the main Utah side entrance. Obviously, it's not the like normal Ravens and Orioles walk that you do. It's the opposite side. But it was just I love seeing this. So we got there about 2 hours early, um, and kind of what got in, got settled, went up, talked to the people we knew before they got their little show started. And so this was what they had. It was a little setup they had. I should have took a picture of the stage, but there was kind of like a stage-ish setup, and then the Oreo bird was out with the kids, and they were dancing. Um, and some of the crew members also came out and started dancing. Then they had a bottle of sunshine that it was confetti that they were pouring on the kids, and just jumping, everybody having a good time. They played DJ remixes. They kind of played all genres of music, all kids appropriate. Had the kids dancing, moving, jumping around. They had these. Um, Awesome streamers too that they was giving out, and it was beautiful to kind of see the kids getting involved. I think it's really important to do things like that. I think Camden Yards really killed it when they picked this. I think it's perfect. I think um, they came up with the idea. It was brainstormed by the Shake It Up crew, and I think it really is perfect for the kids, and something that adults can enjoy too. You take your kid, it's in this. It was a little tight. They could have made the area a little more open so the kids could really like dance. But I think that it was just such a cool thing, and I think kids really appreciated it. At least the ones that were there. And I think that it was overall very successful for kids opening day. They all had their plushies too, so it was a vibe. It was a lot of fun. It was by the statue garden. Got to get this picture of the man, the myth, the legend. Comment down below if you know what statue or who this statue is of. Um, but yeah, so you can see the gate that's right there. So they kind of had it fenced off, and it's pretty not that much space between the bench that I'm sitting on to there. So it was a small little place. But yeah, it was just overall a really successful event. I had a great time. My family had a great time. I went with my cousins, went with my mom and my dad. So um, it was just a lot of fun, great family event. And we, we're grown kids. It was still cool to see, actual little ones running around and supporting our friends. Um, I had got to see someone I hadn't seen in a long time, so it was pretty awesome. A lot of fun. The event was great. And then we sat in section 78, so not the greatest, behind home plate seats, but I wanted to, splurge a little bit for opening day, and these were a gift, so really appreciate that. For the hookup. And yeah, it was a decent crowd. You can see there's a lot of empty seats. It wasn't no opening day. I didn't hear exactly what the total was. It was probably about, let's see, I'm gonna say my guess would be about probably 31,000, maybe 29, um, 30 around that area. 29 to 31,000 is my guess. But yeah, it was definitely fun to be there. I think the crowd wasn't into it as much. I think the pitching problems have been an issue. So that's our transition kind of into more of what I was gonna talk about with the game. The pitching, man, like Soto doesn't have a bad outing and he comes up and it's just terrible. Gives up 3 runs, ties the game. We go in extras and we lose. So, um, yeah, I think that we really need to figure out our pitching because it's not just the starting pitching anymore. It's the fact that we really don't have consistent bullpen guys that are crazy shutout guys that can come out. They're inconsistent, and we've seen those inconsistencies. Not as much from the bullpen, but Perez has had a couple bad outings and times that it didn't matter. But the point being that like guys in the bullpen are struggling. That's frustrating, man. Like as a fan, you were up 3 runs. The whole place was lit. It was great, and then the energy really got kicked out. Like as soon as they tied it up, it was like, oh man. And I think a big part of it was that it really felt like we had momentum and we lost it. We haven't won 2 games in a row yet. That's a problem. Like fans are frustrated, and I think we need more pitching. I felt like the hitting was there. You put up 6 runs, you should win a game. You put up 6, you should win a game. You put 5 and over, that should be a win. 4, maybe 3, that's a lot to ask for. But I think when you really look at it, the fact that the bullpen came out and fumbled that game that heavily is just not, it's not okay. And it's a problem. And Elias hasn't had a great trade, man. Like, Dominguez has been a little bit better. He's gotten shelled a couple times too. But these trades that we've made mid-season have not worked out. We got Corbin Burns, but this year we don't get nobody. We get Charlie Morton. It's like, Elias, at what point are we gonna start doing good things? And that seemed to be a lot of what people were saying. I was just, eavesdropping when you are around big eavesdropper myself. So, I'm eavesdropping, and that's what a lot of people were saying is we get these new people and they seem to suck. So why don't we use the farm system? Why don't we bring people up? Like, I think there's an excitement around new players. Um, and, the hitting was there. It was like Gunnar was getting hits. Adley got a hit in the clutch. Mullins has been good. He was getting walks, doing his thing. Everybody, it felt like Tyler O'Neill, Mountcastle, like guys were having good games and the bullpen threw it away. It's frustrating. Nothing has clicked together to get 2 wins. It's like one thing has really worked and then the other thing hasn't. And then the other thing really worked and the other one hasn't. We'll get the run production and we'll win, or we'll get minimal run production and then we'll blow it with the bullpen. Or we don't get a good starting pitcher. And so that blows it. So I think there's a lot of problems with this team that, fingers crossed, and I'm gonna say this, as much as frustrated as I am, this feels like the beginning of the Ravens season. Things aren't clicking yet. Once they click, we're gonna be good. We'll get into the playoffs. I'm gonna say this one time. It's a crazy claim. It's a crazy claim. Hot take. Hot take. You heard it here first. Orioles will win the division. We are currently in last place. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring up the AL standings right now. I believe that this team is going to end up in first place. I know that is a wild claim, but I just have a feeling that this team can do something special. Let's scoot this over. So as we see the standings right here, bring that here. You look at this, and it's kind of crazy. It is very crazy. It's kind of outrageous, but I think right now we're in last place. You see, we have a win percentage of 400. We're only 2.5 games out of first place, and I think that's a key. And let me explain why. Being only 2.5 games out when nothing is clicking feels exactly like how the Ravens did it. And I would rather have a terrible beginning of the year and go into the postseason with some momentum and swag and play well in the postseason for once. Because it feels like every year we start off strong and we fall apart. I'm thinking this year it's backwards. I'm thinking we had a bad start. We look really disconjointed. We look a mess right now. But I am saying, and I'm putting it on record because it's gonna be on YouTube, that we will be in first place. And that's just what I think. And I'm not being a crazy fan. It just feels like I'm not delusional. Like I don't think like I know there's teams we're not gonna be able to beat. And I know that, you know, a bad start early can really mess with you. But I think that this team makes the postseason, and I think we get a pretty good seed and win the division. And that's a crazy claim because the Blue Jays are 9-7, Yankees are 8-7, Boston's 8-9, Tampa's 7-8, and we only have 6 wins. But I think that we are not fully clicking yet, and once that happens, then we'll take off. It feels very much like the Yankees last year. So I think that's what's gonna happen. Is it will eventually click. Yankees went through a streak where things weren't clicking. Um, we played on the positive side. Let's look at the positives of today. I talked a lot about the negative. Let's flip it to the positive. I think that great defense. Saw great defensive plays. The Blue Jays had 2 defensive mishaps. So, I don't think the one was an error, but I felt like Vladdy should have got that ball. He's one of my favorite players. Vladdy should have got that ball. Like, you paid him 500 mil. I was literally saying 500 mil for what? You paid 500 mil for that glove too, because he's a good fielder. He misplayed that ball and it gets through for a double. Ended up being um, a turning point. Place was going crazy. Um, and so for us to finally have a clean defensive game, it felt good. Kjerstad may have misplayed the ball in left, but I think overall the defense was better, which was great to see from a fan perspective. And I think that, things are going to click. I think that first place is going to be something that we can get. And that's just my take. That's my crazy take. Um, yeah, so I'm just I'm just I'm just here for along the ride. We'll see if I'm right. I'm probably wrong, but it's just what it feels. Um, and yeah, I think a lot of people don't feel that way. Stadium emptied out pretty fast. I'm not gonna lie. Like it filtered out once it went extras. People were pretty pissed and pretty angry, rightfully so. But I think that we gotta have more faith. People weren't standing in lines for the walk off opportunity. The the energy just really dwindled, and I think that this team, once it clicks, could be deadly. It just has to click. And when is it gonna click? I think that once that gets going, it feels like we're a really great team. But right now, we're a really bad team. If you want to play us now, because we look our worst. So it's kind of how the Ravens started. They started 0-2, ended up making the playoffs. So I think that this is and winning the division. So I think this is the Orioles' way of saying, "Hey, we saw you, Ravens. Now let's do it for baseball too." So hopefully that means a playoff win, man, and hopefully in Baltimore playoff win. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna keep going to games. I'm gonna be a fan, and for sure gonna be there in the playoffs. But that's all I have for right now. Thank you for watching. If you're not following or you're not subscribed, follow the Insta, subscribe to the YouTube below, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.